welcome to the Indian Insider. Here on the show, we take a look into the world of Manhattan High.
We have everything you need to know about all things MHS, including a look at a choir trip to Disney World and an all-around look at the upcoming track season.
Starting next year, we'll be seeing a new face here at MHS.
That's right. Greg Hoyt, the current Eisenhower Middle School principal, has been hired to take over as the head principal next year at Manhattan High School. Although Hoyt will be the new principal, this definitely isn't the first time Hoyt has been inside the school. Hoyt was walking around the halls of MHS back when he was a teenager. He graduated from MHS in 1983. He later came back as a math teacher from 1988 to 2004. During that time, Hoyt has also served as a football and track coach. Hoyt is also familiar with many of the students at MHS from his days as principal at Eisenhower. Hoyt's main goal for the school next year is to maximize the learning environment. To accomplish this goal, he says he must create an environment where learning is cherished and valued. Hoyt believes the biggest obstacle at MHS will be getting to know everybody due to the size of the school.
In other news, Manhattan High will be supporting the arts by introducing this year's spring play, The Crucible.
Francis, I wish you had some evil in you that you might know me.
The Manhattan High School Performing Arts Department and Thespian Troupe 941 have begun work on the spring play, The Crucible. But the road to becoming a performer isn't always easy.
I started in 6th grade, and back then I was really weird looking. I was in that awkward middle school stage, and so I wanted people to like me, so I became other people that they would like them more than myself. So just kind of disappeared into that alternate personality area.
Abby, stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Students and faculty members alike have dedicated themselves to this production on this very stage with little recognition from peers and teachers.
Not at all until about a couple weeks before the play actually starts, and then I start hearing about it. But otherwise, I have no clue.
While most students are not aware of the effort that goes into the Crucible, Linda Utoff, the director of the play, believes it is a blessing that her students won't forget anytime soon.
I think they'll see their friends do things they didn't realize they could do, in terms of playing a character with such depth, staying in character, really connecting to each other on stage.
Able to ask good actors know about objectives, which means what's your goal, what's your intention, what are you fighting for, and what's in your way of getting that.
It's just fun to, see everybody come together and learn about how to do a really good, solid drama, I think. So.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited for that play.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. Mark your calendars for April 18th through the 20th.
On the topic of dramas, the freshman class has been working with the Shakespeare play Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet? A love story?
Perhaps, but certain students in Manhattan High School have different opinions.
Everyone hears Romeo and Juliet, and then they're like, oh, it's a happy love story. But in the end, it's really two teenagers. One of them who's only 14, who fall in love after seeing each other once, and then they kill each other after a couple of days.
It is not extremely romantic. It's kind of scary.
I don't like the motive or the message it has at all.
Mrs. Payne's advanced English classes just finished reading the first 4 acts of Shakespeare's popular play, Romeo and Juliet. Now, it's up to them to interpret and modernize the rest of the play for themselves.
I dropped my phone, I lost my SIM card, and I didn't get to send the text. Oh my gosh!
What if at some point we just have Friar Lawrence be like the teacher on Charlie Brown and just he starts talking and then it slowly devolves into that.
Though many students think this project is fun, there were certainly difficulties along the way.
Well, my eyes are blurry now. Wow.
What's wrong? Are you okay? How do you turn it on?
I think it's really cool, but I would prefer that we had more time. Exactly enough time to transcribe 15 pages of Shakespeare and then turn it into a play.
Deadline is Monday. In the meantime, students are busy creating their own version of the scene assigned, as well as practicing with their groups.
It's a legendary story, a tragedy that's going to last us forever.
There are all kinds of performance groups at MHS. The Manhattan High choir students took a trip to Orlando, Florida this past spring break. There they performed for other visitors. The choirs got to perform on some of the biggest stages Disney has to offer. Pops got to perform on a floating stage in downtown Disney, and the whole group performed at Epcot Center. After the choirs finished their performances, they spent the rest of their free time exploring the various parks. This experience was what all the students looked forward to most. Classrooms around MHS are filled with not only students, but student teachers.
That's right. Joe Kester, a student teacher here at MHS, has had the chance to work with some of the seniors.
K-State student teacher Joe Kester came into Crystal Kleiner's English class with the expectations of having to teach her seniors at some point in the semester. When Kleiner threw him the opportunity to teach the Canterbury Tales, he jumped on it.
Ms. Kleiner suggested that I teach the Canterbury Tales, but when I was in high school, I read the Canterbury Tales, and it was actually the first book that was assigned to me that I actually finished. Here I am, an English teacher, but I love the Canterbury Tales. So even if I had been given a choice, I probably would have chosen them.
Most teachers do not feel comfortable when it comes to sitting back and letting someone else teach their classes for them. However, the case is different when it comes to Kester.
Back in King Arthur's time, there were elves, there were fairies, and all that just running around everywhere. And why aren't they there anymore?
But it is wonderful to share a classroom with a teacher who is so good at what he's doing that I don't have to worry so much about my class.
In this case, student teaching has been a great opportunity for Kester, with his Canterbury Tales unit being a success.
A recent competitive opportunity for the students at Manhattan High is the AMC.
For many of the freshmen at MHS, this is the first year that they have taken the AMC, or American Mathematics Competition. Ted Doughty explains to us why the AMC is so important to students.
As you move up and perform, test at a higher and higher level, and colleges and universities see that you are on the national team for this test, likely scholarships are headed your direction.
After taking the test for the first time this year, students expressed what they thought of it.
It is important to me because it sees how I am academically compared to other students.
I think it's kind of important because it gives you a general idea of where you stand, with what you need to know and what you need to learn.
Students will try to use this year's experience and build upon it as they try to improve next year.
Manhattan High will keep the same schedule format through the 2013-2014 school year after the Board of Education voted to keep the current 7-hour schedule. It was one of 3 options available to vote for at the March 13th meeting. One of the 3 options was the 6+0 hour with late start. This option included a 6-hour day with an optional 0 hour for students who want to take more classes than just 6 periods. The other option was the 7-hour modified block with late start. This option would allow block scheduling on Wednesdays and Thursdays, with Monday, Wednesday, and Friday having the traditional 7-hour schedule. The 7-hour schedule will stay intact through the 2013-2014 school season, but the Board of Education will allow the school to continue to explore other schedule options for the 2014-2015 years. The Board of Education will hold a second meeting on March 28th to discuss other suggestions for the 2013-14 schedule.
Trey and I were among the students who attended the recent Brown Bag Lunch Series. Here's more information about it.
On March 12th, various broadcasters and reporters from local news stations came to Manhattan High to discuss potential careers in journalism. Guest speaker Matt Walters discussed how finding your passion early is a major step in a prestigious field.
I'm probably one of the rare birds. I knew what I wanted to do when I was 9, and I haven't really deviated from that, but I knew I wanted to be a sportscaster. I was a sports nut since I was born. I grew up in a family of athletes and sports nuts, so I was pretty focused as a kid on what I was.
Though the industry continues to thrive, the changes it is undergoing are clear.
We would run a story over something that he was, 10 years ago, 2003, the internet wasn't in every home, but now the internet is, if I do not get 3G coverage from Sprint, I am upset because I've lost connection.
Students felt the speakers offered a new insight into what it truly takes to pursue a career in journalism.
And what we do is a very...
I think something that really hit home with me that they talked about was you really have to be a people person to be a journalist, and how you have to be that jerk sometimes that knocks on the doors of people who just lost a loved one or has gone through something.
While the guest speakers feel a career in this field is rewarding, they believe it takes sacrifice, communication, and commitment.
Life, you've heard the saying, life isn't fair. Well, in our business, sometimes it really isn't. There's a saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that's why we talk about communicating. The more people you meet, the more you know what to do, the better your chances.
The next Brown Bag Lunch series is on Thursday and will focus on entrepreneurship with Dave Dreiling.
Spring sports are underway. We caught up with the track team prior to their first meet.
Last year, the MHS track team impressed with first place finishes at league and regionals, and then went on to a fourth place finish at state. As the 2013 season gets underway, the team is working hard to be ready for their first meet.
My personal goals would probably be to make it to state again and probably place higher than I did last year.
Rejoice Bryant, who finished 7th in the 100-meter hurdles last season, is not the only one looking to improve from last year.
Getting stronger, and we'll have a nice chance to measure our progress next week at our meet in Topeka on the 14th of March.
While the distance runners have been progressing under Coach Mel Garris, the sprinters and jumpers have been making great strides in preparing for their first meet on March 14th as well.
Everybody's looking really good. They're excited. We're all excited about our first meet on the 14th. The jumpers are looking good. The sprinters are looking good. The sprinters are looking good. Everybody's looking good. We're getting them in shape. We're getting ready.
The track team will participate in their first meet on March 14th in Topeka at Hummer Field. So from today till the 14th, the track team will be working extremely hard to prepare themselves.
That's it for this edition of Indian Insider. I'm Trey Fuentes.
And I'm Kennedy Felice. Thanks for watching.